We think we're back. We have no idea.
It sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean when everything starts. Can you hear us?
Oh, man. Yeah. Can you hear us? I know you're a Cubs fan, but
yeah, I'd call myself that.
Do you like Pirates of the Caribbean and then like I want to say somewhere in like the middle 2000s White Sox, they had like a Pirates of the Caribbean Jack Sparrow remix, like kind of like a techno, I don't know,
like a walk-up song?
Like a club, no, like a pump up, like the video, like before they run out of the field.
Yeah.
Holy shit, was
like where the Bulls were like running through.
Was I Jack, brother?
Hell yeah, brother.
It was like an Ultimate Warrior was in charge of their hype. It was the second best scoreboard pump up video I think I'd ever seen.
First was
Blackhawks, their 2013 campaign.
1 goal.
With I Can Lift You Up, whatever song that was. Yeah. And like it's just everyone holding the Stanley Cup from 2010. Got me pumped. I wasted a lot of money there. You hear me, brother?
Yeah, I hear you. Welcome back to the putter. Well, we're not the putter, but you know.
Yeah, putter annex, whatever you want to call it. Interesting situation here with the Bears.
Yeah, what's up with this?
Matt Eberflus, as we were discussing earlier, petitioning the NFL to review the leveraging call.
After the game. So, like, what's he actually asking? Is he just trying to make a point? Because what are they going to do? Reverse the game? No.
Hey, everyone has to come back to Soldier Field. We got to kick a field goal with no time left. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, maybe they want the NFL to acknowledge it. We're not really in playoff contention, so
no.
And we don't know if that kick goes in, anyways. Cairo Santos pretty good from 40.
It was pretty low. I mean, obviously it was low. Got tipped.
Well, that's part of the problem, right? If we're gonna try to kick a 45 or a 48-yard field goal with a field goal kicker whose maximum range is 48, I'm not too familiar on kicking. I think you might have an idea or two.
Yeah. Well,
probably got to drive that a little bit lower.
It's got to be lower and firmer.
I know you're a round ball kicker. Have you ever like screwed around kicking field goals?
I did.
Should we call Pat McAfee?
I did. I kicked myself because a lot of my buddies played football and soccer in high school. They were just the kicker. But at my high school, like we had this weird rivalry, like where the football team and the soccer team like hated each other. So I didn't get to do it. But I wish I would have. It'd be fun.
All right. Well, the call or the rule in the NFL conveniently called leveraging.
Okay. Explain
so that. The long snapper, when he has his head down, is a protected person on the line, and you cannot put your arm like on his back and use it to prop yourself up further. You can't use him as a trampoline.
Okay.
I think they should call the rule trampolining.
Okay.
But you're also probably long snapper is traditionally like a small tight end.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Large man. Pretty
large man, but like you're surrounded by gigantic humans.
Yeah.
That are trying to block and jump and block a kick.
That's a terrible place to be. Like you're just down, guys are just.
Yeah, and like I get it. I mean, there's probably some safety concerns, but like, how are you going? Like, if Bill Belichick's coaching this thing up, and his long snapper just keep his head down the whole time?
Yeah.
And then no one can touch him.
You can't come in this whole area here. You have to come from the side to try to block.
Yeah, or you like jump over the guy entirely. It's just not a real thing, but leveraging. Also a dangerous thing in our world sometimes too.
Yeah, it can be. You can get caught up.
You can get caught up. You get your kick blocked. You can lose a game. You could get to the 45-yard line after you work your butt off to get there to not have something happen too.
You could also lose your entire bank account.
It sounds like maybe a bad options trade once or twice.
Yeah, it could be.
That's Bears. I don't even know. We're going to be in long winter here. Bears suck. Blackhawks no good. Bulls not.
Nah, no idea.
Yeah. When does the Sky start
White
playing
Sox
again?
Terrible. Who's good? Is it like the women's soccer team good or anybody? Can we get anything here?
I don't know if what are the Red Stars?
I don't know.
I think the Fire were griping about getting a new stadium.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Which is funny because the Bears are also griping about a stadium. So what else are we going to do all winter besides maybe organize your finances?
Buy a house.
Could
be.
Review your insurance. We've kind of gone on a very, let's say, apolitical stance here about interest rates and who becomes elected. But now that we have a president that was previously elected before, we can go back and look at some historical data on where interest rates have gone because, you know, God bless Trump here, but we're going to drive rates down. And what rates are we driving down?
I don't know.
I don't really know. And the fundamentals on it, and we've seen Trump and Jerome Powell kind of jaw at each other. You know, one of them's going to fire the other one, even though there's no real authority because the Federal Reserve gets to do whatever the hell they want. We do have a very, very clear picture of what happened from 2016 to 2019 when Trump was in office. So we're going to pull this up. It's probably going to confuse a few people.
It's going to confuse me.
It may be a little
Make
bit.
it make sense, Tony.
All right. Well, let's see if we, I don't know. We'll try. Oh, we disappeared there.
I see some squiggly lines.
Yep, a lot of squiggles.
Trend. We got a down channel.
Yes, we do have a down channel, which is very important. So we start in the top left of this. This is mortgage-backed security pricing.
Okay.
All right. So this is where it gets confusing because bonds and fixed income products work inverse. So as these are going down, interest rates are going up.
Got it.
And if you talk to mortgage people that were in the business 2016, we saw some of the craziest volatility in mortgage rates the day after the Trump election.
In 16?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we just continually see this downtrend until 2019. And then we see a small uptrend, and then COVID happens. And the Federal Reserve dumps in.
So what's the end of this? This is 2019,
This is 2019.
Okay.
The yellow line that kind of runs in here, that is a 10-year Treasury yield. Why does this stuff matter? Well, if we're going to continue to press on a strong economy, very tight labor market, trying to curtail inflation, trying to cool the market off a little bit, that's the only market cooling off is the only way mortgage rates are going to have a substantial decline.
Well, that doesn't seem like what's happening.
And rates are sticky. I think yesterday I sent you a headline that was very alarmist that said that even the threat of nuclear war cannot get mortgage-backed securities and bonds to rally right now. Why is that? Anyone's guess. Realistically, we have 7 times the money supply existing in the marketplace on the Fed balance sheet.
Yeah.
And the market doesn't know how to finish digesting it.
Yeah.
Think about it like turkey. You're sitting at the Thanksgiving table.
You just had a huge meal. You're getting a little sleepy.
You got a lot of tryptophan?
Tryptophan's coursing through the veins. Yeah, there's just a lot of money they printed, right? So that's still working its way through.
It's at an unbelievably, it's at a very sticky pace. And that's why if you follow the financial markets, you're gonna hear a lot of things like sticky inflation sticking. We can't get through this. Why do we say that? Because if rates are going to continue to be in this middle 6, low 7 range, and we've talked about insurance costs being up, home prices are continually trending upward, incrementally, not exponentially. You have to get a budget in place if you want to buy a house. If you want to make that next move, cannot stress enough. If you think that moving in 2025 is even a 40% chance, you need to call us today and start that conversation.
That's true.
Because we're going to find ways and we're going to have conversations with you about where your money's going, where you need to put some money so that you're not burning through cash. Because just yesterday, conversation with somebody, hey man, what's going on? We've worked with you for 14 and a half months now, and we have less money in the bank now than we did before. Well, I had a car problem. I had this. And then he's like, this company, will remain nameless, sent me this debt consolidation loan paperwork. I thought that was a great idea. And I was like, did you look at the interest rate on that? I was like, well, I just looked at the payment. Like, okay, so the interest rate's 33.3% on that. And you just rolled your credit cards that were 21.9% into it.
Yeah. People get trapped, man.
It's a vicious cycle. And I think at this point, I'll declare my 2025, I don't know, you want to call it honest resolution.
Okay. Which is?
I'm here to help people. Honest conversation. I think your crew here would be more than welcome to open up a door, have a sit down with you, a family, a group of people, and go through your entire financial situation.
Yeah.
You guys at State Farm, you guys have products that you offer.
Yeah, that's
beyond.
really all we do. We just teach people how money moves through their life and how you shift risk. And it seems like a big, huge thought, but it really matters. I mean,
it doesn't have to be scary. I think I get it. Sometimes people get nervous about me because I talk loud and talk.
Well, you're really smart. That's intimidating sometimes.
But I'm willing, I'm able to and willing to boil it down to a spreadsheet for people. And I think what's gone on, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, we have a lot of conversations about weird things, but the lack of visualization is creating a lazy budget mindset.
Yeah.
The things I see when I walk into your place, I see a lot of goals, calls, image, very clear visual things, because that's what makes your mind work.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a bunch of my internal people yesterday about this. With Facebook and social media and all of that stuff, your brain's being forced to digest at 10,000 times what it is capable
all
of.
The data coming in is just like,
and it's twice as reactive to negative data as positive data.
Yeah.
So let's just maybe delete some of that stuff. Let's do a financial inventory. You can meet us in St. John, you can meet us in Crown Point, you can meet us in Mokina, Crete, wherever, and we'll sit down and have that conversation with you guys. And you don't have to even want to buy a house, but maybe there's an opportunity to refinance.
Yeah.
We talked about the whole interest rate hitting the reset button and flipping. Gentleman yesterday selling his house in Chicago, moving to Bourbonnais. Got a lot of equity in the house in Chicago.
Yeah.
He bought this thing in 2008.
Wow.
But we're paying off $98,000 in bad debt with the sale proceeds, and he's putting 10% down on his new house.
Yeah, what's that do to his cash flow every month?
Well, here's what's wild. All right, so he's selling a house for $300,000.
Okay.
He's buying a house for $525,000.
Okay.
His entire debt load is going to go down, even including the new mortgage, by $2,700 a month.
That's insane.
With the new mortgage.
Must have a lot.
At a current rate, and he's got he's refinanced. He's got a 2.875.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen unless you're willing to sell your house
and move.
And and he doesn't want to. Now has 2 kids. Wants his kids to go to BBCHS, like great school district, and they got to make that move. But the problem is when you're strapped like that, what other crazy financial decisions are you making? Are you?
Well, you get stressed out. Yeah.
Are you cutting insurance? Are you trying to save money in the wrong spots?
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing we talk about here is not cutting the wrong thing out. But again, he's like, well, I didn't want to put all that money down towards my house. I'm like, no, let's knock off this other stuff, man. And he's like, hold on, you're telling me that I can buy this way bigger house, way nicer neighborhood,
way more money,
and be like give myself a $30,000 a year month over month real cash raise?
Yeah,
sure thing. We can do that, but we can't do it if you don't have the conversation. And that's, I think, where we get into a couple other conversations as we have meetings. If you guys want to reach out and hang out with us, sometimes just selling your house is the right move.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot. Like when you go to do a cash out refinance or take a home equity line of credit, and I tell you, Adam, your house is worth, we'll use it $100,000.
Yeah.
Well, on a cash out refinance, I can only get you $80,000.
Right.
A HELOC, I can maybe get $85,000 on that. If you sell your house, you get the $100,000 less your cost of selling.
Right.
So there's a lot of extra equity there. And taking a HELOC out, I've done this analysis twice, and we can print this stuff out for people. For a lot of people, they're surprised at what the interest rates are on that, and now you're tacking that on your debt. And if you have a cash flow problem already, all it does is perpetuate.
It just makes it worse.
It's just you're just kicking the can down the road, going one further step. So that's 2025. I think that's what we got to do.
We're gonna help people.
We're here to help. I think we also have a pretty big event coming up next Wednesday with Nick and the boys. very fitting band, Reset.
Yeah.
Talking about the financial reset. So follow our pages, like, subscribe to those things. RSVP, get yourself a pumpkin pie.
Love pie. Who doesn't like pie?
Pumpkin pie is,
It's the best.
Yeah. The only thing better than pumpkin squares, honestly, but
Yeah. Peanut butter's up there too. Like peanut butter pumpkin. I don't know if that's a good mix, but I can try it. I can get down with it.
Let's try it. We'll be like Fetty Wap. We'll be cooking pies in the kitchen.
I don't think those are the pies he's talking
Yes.
about.
Oh, no, 1738. The little trap house action. But that's next Wednesday. Beecher, I think it's AmVets. We'll make sure all those links get shared again. We'd love to see you guys there. With the RSVP for the pie, I think we're giving away pies from 1 to 6. And then Reset goes on sometime around 7. I think Nick's told us before, that's everything from Chuck Berry to Buck Cherry.
Oh, yeah.
That's or maybe it's Buck Cherry. I don't know. Well, it's only B to C, but we could go AC/DC to ZZ
Buck and
Top.
Chuck. Yeah.
That's what they do, a little mashup.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yo, you crazy.
Like Humphreys.
Johnny Be Good.
Yeah.
All right. What else, Adam? Anything?
That's all I got. Let's just have a good week, and then they got the holiday next week. Are we on? We're going Wednesday morning?
Should we go Wednesday morning for a pregame?
Yeah, let's do that.
Pregame with us prior to seeing us Wednesday afternoon in Beecher. Who knows what's in these mugs?
Nobody knows.
We'll find
Could
out.
Be
But
coffee.
yeah, we'll run it. We'll run it back next Wednesday morning for a minute. Talk to you guys, give you a little pump up, and then really want to see you Wednesday night. Maybe we'll get you a beer. And one beer.
We'll talk about the economics of the Thanksgiving feast next week.
Yeah, how to digest it.
Mm-hmm.
How much does stuffing cost today versus yesterday?
Ooh, I bet it's more.
We had to buy a bunch of stuff for my son's Thanksgiving.
What do you think an average Thanksgiving costs a family to put it on the table?
Let's figure it out.
We're gonna figure that out. But here's our guess. What is so per person?
I would say $17 a plate.
I was going to say 25. So
all right.
Let's see what happens.
All right, we'll call it 20. I'll take the under. You got the over.
All right, deal.
10, I got 5 on it. All right, so there we go. If anyone has any of their receipts for their Thanksgiving purchases, let us know so we can really follow through and do some math on this one. Other than that, we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
I'm done. Cut the show.